All right, everyone. Um, Welcome to the Unrestrained Podcast, the School of Hard Knocks here. Um, it looks like we're going live again for the second time. So
That's right.
let's see if we got anybody in here that can let us know how our sound is, because the last week when we did this, our sound was pretty bad. It's our first time doing it live. This is our second time, so hopefully we do better this time. So not sure. Do we have anybody in here yet? I don't
We got
see
a
the
whole
chat.
bunch of people. We got people telling us choppy, telling us choppy.
So is the sounds choppy? Is that what they're telling us?
I think what it is, but we'll confirm. We'll confirm.
Yeah, guys,
I can hear you.
we want to get the sound right this time because
Sounds much better this time. All right. We're
yeah, I
ready.
mean, is better good enough? I mean, what's that mean? I mean, is the sound good? Thumbs up if the sound's good, guys.
Yep. We got people joining in. We out of control. The Instagram is out of control. We got. Let me see who can I give shout out. We have the Philly Mac. We got Claudia Nepp says hello. We says you're going in and out. Okay, so it's going in and out. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hey, go ahead and restart your apps, you guys. For the most part, we will confirm. We will confirm. All right. So
where
let's
do I see the chat? I don't see. I don't see the chat.
actually the chat is over here. I'm gonna put it over there, man. We'll put it over there. See if we can see it right there. Boom.
Oh, okay, there we go.
All the chats,
All right,
everybody
guys.
there. There we go. Everybody. It says everything hit.
Well, I see some thumbs up, so I guess that means the sound is good.
Yes, sir. Sounding good. Sounding good.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I guess we'll trust that the sound is good. If not, let us know, and hopefully we can get it resolved here. But yeah, guys, so thanks for joining us again here. It's me and Alfred here. I'm Isaac Alves. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I know we're live here right now on the Lexit platforms, right? But if you guys could go also to our YouTube channel, the Unrestrained Podcast, and it'd be nice if you guys could subscribe on there. And hopefully, as we grow that channel, then we can go ahead and start doing lives out of that channel as well. Is that something we can do, Alfred?
Of course.
I don't know. I'm
we
just
can.
making things up. I don't even know. You're the tech guy. I just come here and talk.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can make that happen, and we can make that happen. Actually, you know what? Also, want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's joining us. We got a lot of people out there in Instagram, and a lot of people have asked us, "How can we join in?" Actually, we have the capabilities of calling in. Right now, we will test it out. First, we're going to figure out the problem with the sound, and then we'll make sure that we can start giving out a number where you can call in, and you can be part of this live as well. So we're excited. Things are moving along pretty quickly, man. As you know, we're getting up to date, and so for the most part, man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, Alfred, why is there a big delay on the video? Is that normal?
Yes, that is
Okay.
normal. Yeah, that's
Okay.
super normal on Instagram. Instagram, it hits their server, and then it goes
Okay.
into
I'm being
the-
super paranoid, guys, because kind of disappointed the sound yet last week. But hopefully we get it right this time. But anyhow, guys, get the first tab off. We got the first tab here. So we got want to go ahead and start it off here. Our friend here, man, this is the kind of stuff that it really, really pisses me off, guys. We got John Kerry over here at the World Economic Forum. Okay.
Mhm.
And he's at the World Economic Forum, and we're gonna play this clip. Okay. But this is the problem, that we have these political elites that are going, to these world platforms, right? And listen carefully, guys, because this is the kind of stuff that the layman's, the people that are in the matrix, um, the people out there that the Kamala Harris. If you wonder why people vote for Kamala Harris and how they fall for all the shenanigans, it's because it takes a lot of effort
Mhm.
to look at this stuff, to watch the videos and find this stuff. I mean, I found this on X, right? Today, I looked on X, my X app, and I see this video, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I got to listen to this. Um, but yeah, the headline here says, he's talking about the media. Alfred, I think it's cut off on top, isn't it? Because it says it's sick, and has an okay. There we go. So he's the quote: "If people only go to one source, and
Mhm.
the source they go to is sick, and has an agenda, and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to be able to just, you know, hammer it out of existence." So he, that's just one thing that he says, but listen to this whole statement, okay? Because if it's up to guys like like, oh gosh, what's his name again? John Kerry.
John Kerry.
John Kerry, right? They would remove our First Amendment, okay? Freedom is a problem for them. They don't like the fact that there's platforms like this and much bigger platforms out there that are putting out information. And American citizens are too stupid to discern truth from falseness, right? I mean, if obviously there are some people out there, right, that are that
Mhm.
stupid. Okay, let's just be honest, they are. Okay. With that said, most Americans, I'd like to think, if they are exposed to both arguments and have the same access to hear both sides and alternative opinions, I trust that the majority of the people are actually going to figure out truth from false, right?
Right.
But let's go ahead and play the video, guys. We're going to listen up. Make sure the audio is Alfred. Yeah, there we go. All right, hope. Yep, make it big and hit it play, sir.
Awesome. Let's go. Let's hit this.
And I think the dislike of and anguish over social media is growing and growing and growing. It's part of our problem, particularly in democracies, in terms of building consensus around any issue. It's really hard to govern today. You can't, there's no referees we used to have to determine what's a fact and what isn't
The
a fact. It's
referees.
kind of been
It's hard
eviscerated
to
to some
govern
degree.
because they don't just get
And
to control the narrative
people
anymore.
go, and then people self-select
That's true.
where they go for their news or for their information, and then you just get into a vicious
Here it
cycle.
comes.
Yeah.
So it's really, really hard, much harder to build consensus today than at any time in the 45, 50
Manipulate, to
years I've been
brainwash
involved
people,
in
in
this.
other words.
And there's a lot of discussion now about how you curb those entities in order to guarantee that you're going to have some accountability on facts, et cetera. But look, if people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick
Here we go.
and has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, uh, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be
There
able
you
to
go.
just hammer it out of existence. So what we need is to win the ground, win the right
Remove
to
the First
govern
Amendment.
by hopefully having winning enough votes that you're free to be able
Winning enough votes.
implement change.
What change is he talking about?
Obviously, there are some
Alfred?
people in our country who are prepared to implement change in other ways, and
So
that's
you're
really
questioning
dangerous.
really if democracy can survive
I think,
unregulated social media.
I think democracies are very challenged right now, and have not proven they can move fast enough.
So I guess I got a couple of questions for you, bro.
Okay,
I mean,
bro.
I got a couple of questions for you
Yeah.
because, in fact, if you're closely paying attention to John Kerry now, you got to come on now. As Americans, we need to pay attention exactly who this guy is. Okay, this guy is talking he's talking in the Economic Forum, right? It has nothing to do
The World,
the World Economic Forum. It has nothing to do with the U.S., right? I mean, meaning like we're there, we're forced to be there. Okay, we're forced to have puppeteers like this guy going out into these forums, into these conversations, and really just speak their mind in regards to what's happening.
Well,
Right?
we're not forced. Nobody's forcing them to be there, Alfred.
I'm saying, like, politicians, the current administration. Remember, Trump.
Well, that's one. Okay, that's the first thing that I want to know. What the heck is he doing there, anyways?
Exactly.
What is he doing there? Okay, why do we have people going to the World Economic Forum? We are a sovereign country. Okay, so why are we participating in these world platforms? The premise is that we I guess the argument in the premise this was all intended to be countries getting together, I guess, to come up with policies and ideas. But that's a problem. Listen to what this man is saying. Sorry, Alfred, I kind of cut you off. Yeah, but listen to what this guy is talking about, guys. He's 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 um he's telling us that he's talking about getting enough votes to 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 promote change, right? Getting enough votes to implement change. And remember, the context was the First Amendment, right? And then he's talking about how do we curve these platforms. Okay, that's just a nice way of saying how do we regulate them? How do we control these platforms? Platforms like ours, even though it's small, but there's just all of the platforms out there, right? Your PBD podcast, the Tim Pools, whatever you listen to, Sean Ryan, all of these conservative platforms, because they don't want to curve like the CNN, right? Which we know is fake all the time. The ones that told us that Sleepy Joe was sharp as a tack, right? Remember that, right? The one that told you that he's the best president, that the guy's, is just, sharper than ever, right? The ones that told us are telling us that Kamala Harris is not the border czar. They're okay with those guys. But how do they curve these platforms? See, these platforms are a problem. Why? Because he's talking about how they're not able to it's very difficult for them to govern, right? And the interesting thing, he's not even in government anymore.
That's right.
So think about the fact that he is not in government. And he's over there talking about how it's very difficult for them to govern. Well, you're not governing, or are you? Are you governing still? Right? So he's complaining that it's very difficult for them to govern because they can't build consensus. Right? In other words, which is dog whistle. Let's just use a liberal word, right? I like to use that. That's dog whistle, that they're not able to control and manipulate and brainwash people anymore, right? They're not able to lie to us and only have one side of the story, like climate change. You notice they're not even talking about climate change anymore, Alfred?
Of course not.
Did they even ask a question about climate change in the debate?
Bro, the last thing I heard about this whole nonsense about this climate change was when Joe Biden himself comes out and says, we named, climate change, which he came out and said, we should have changed the name to something completely different. So he used climate change to actually, to pass down our throats a bill that is giving a certain amount of money to go ahead and get allocated towards, the Green Deal. You know what I mean? And so he comes out blankly and says, we should have titled it something else. Well, why were you titling it whatever it was, the Green Deal, towards the Green Deal?
Yeah.
And now that you passed it, now you're pretty much saying, we should title it something else. So this is what the politicians do if you don't pay attention.
That's right, Ria 561. They don't like that people are waking up and taking responsibility or discerning truth from lies. They don't like that. That's a problem.
A complete problem.
Right?
And the problem is because now you have this guy here, like you mentioned, this guy's not part of government, right? But he's out there influencing other governments to what? To fight for democracy, for the free of the narrative, to control something, to control people.
Right.
And now you're having him in a platform, in a forum. This is the World Economic Forum, speaking this nonsense, this narrative that, hey, we should be able to buckle down and really just hammer down, these people that are being protected by whatever kind of laws in their own local area. For us, is the First Amendment, but for other nations, what is it?
Right. Guys, remember, these guys are supposed to be public servants, right? They're not. They're not our leaders. They're supposed to be public servants. And just listen when you listen to these guys out there when they're in these platforms where like the World Economic Forum, that's when you kind of see their true colors where they're out there like they're the Lord, they're our lords, they're our leaders, they're our overseers,
Right.
they're our overseers. That's not what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be public servants. Okay, they're supposed to be out there carrying out the will of the people, not trying to figure out how to curve the First Amendment, how to curve these platforms, because it's very difficult for them to rule us right now, right? So that's what's going on, guys, over there complaining about it. Go ahead and escape your office so we can see what's next. But yeah, man, this is just crazy. It's frustrating. This is exactly what we're dealing with. This is why they hate Trump. You know what I mean? They can't have puppets here like Kamala Harris, guys. And so I hate to do this to everyone. I really was reluctant to even do this because it's so hard to listen to her, man.
Completely.
But apparently Kamala Harris had a press conference today because I guess she went to go visit the border finally, right?
Douglas,
Right?
Douglas, Arizona. Not even. And the funny thing is, she didn't go to Texas. She went to Douglas, Arizona.
Is that where she's at?
She's over there in Douglas, Arizona. It wasn't not even. She didn't even go to the epicenter. It's kind of like, hey, I'll look at it from down here. I'm fine over here where there's no movement, where there's nothing going on in Douglas, Arizona, where it's calm, it's chilled. Instead of going out to El Paso or out there where the actual thing is happening, Juarez.
Oh man, hold on. Sorry, Alfred. I got to tell this story, guys. All right, before we get into this, because I'm trying to get in a mental state to watch this press conference. We're gonna listen to. I haven't listened to the whole thing. Okay, so I got to tell you guys, man, this is what happened. I was on this weekend. I was out working on my daughter's car. I'm in my driveway. Okay, and I don't live in the hood. Okay, I'm a typical middle class neighborhood. Okay, we're a lot of cul-de-sacs. This isn't like in the main neighborhood. So you guys get some context here. This Mexican guy rolls up in his bike. He's walking with this bike. I'm having a bad day because I hate working on cars, but I'm too tight to go pay a mechanic for something I can do myself, right? But I'm already in a bad mood, and then those guys out there, they ranch, you understand what I mean. I can never do the job. This guy walks up to me and he asked me, in Spanish, if I speak Spanish. I said, yes, I speak Spanish. And he asked me if I have any money or any food because he came from Mexico. He's on his way from Mexico and he's working his way to San Jose. Okay, I live in LA County, bordering Orange County here in California. Okay, why is he on my street? I don't understand. Like I said, you have to. There's only one way to my neighborhood, so it's kind of weird to begin with. I'm already pissed off. We hadn't even gone grocery shopping or anything, so I had like hardly anything in my refrigerator. Like, I was bare bones, guys. Okay, and I don't have cash in my pocket. I'm like, who has cash? Who carries cash nowadays?
This is the middle class, you guys. You guys got to understand. We have nothing in our fridges, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm already annoyed, and honestly, guys, I know I'm probably gonna hit some hate over this. Okay, I'm torn because I do want to help people. Okay, but then at the same time, I'm pissed off because I have this guy who came to this country illegally. And if you want to call me a hypocrite, go back to my podcast. Okay. I was born here just because when my parents came here, my dad came here legally. My mom, I believe, did overstay her visa. But you know what? That was their decision. Okay. In other words, I didn't break no law. Okay. My parents did. Okay. But I can't pay for the sins of my parents.
Of course.
I'm not going to condone, like if you have a parent who was a murderer or a thief, right?
Right.
And you say, I condemn murder, doesn't make you a hypocrite just because your parents were murderers. And I'm using a pretty extreme example, right? I mean, that doesn't make them a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that same token, I'm not a hypocrite by saying this dude I said, sir, you're just catching me in a bad day. I'm in a bad mood. I apologize, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I told him this in Spanish. I'm very frustrated that you came here illegally, okay? And now you're asking me to give you food and money, okay? When I don't even have food to give you, I'll see what I can find, right? I don't have any cash. And then the guy's asking me if he could do anything. I'm like, dude, I have a gardener. I already pay a gardener. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to pay you to do something that I don't need. Anyways, I know I'm ranting, guys, but I was just all bitter about this because do you think that Kamala Harris and these guys have to deal with this?
Of course not.
Do you think that they have now illegals coming to their, then they go to my neighbor's house and the guy's knocking on his door and he's telling me how he had got 4 other guys with him, right? So now we got to deal with it. We gotta deal with these illegals coming in here. We're the ones that gotta feed them. We're the ones that gotta give them food and be all worried about it. So yes, I went in the house. I was, I didn't want to give them. I was trying to avoid giving them like packets or canned food, guys. But that's all I had. You know what I mean?
I mean,
we're in this biting economy, bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, right? This is where we are right now, guys. Remember, we were saving up those cans for dire situations. We're in them. You know what I mean? This is where all our cans, all our stuff we're saving up, making sure. Now we're double checking, making sure that our cans are not expired. You know what I mean? Like, this is where we're at now. This is the Bidenomics. This is where we're at, and many people might laugh about it. And maybe you're like, bro, are you serious for real? Yeah, some people are struggling here, man. The struggle's real here.
So listen, guys, look at Tiki Man, you're not a good person. Bro, you don't know me, but listen, guys, it's like I said, I admit I was having a bad day. Okay.
He missed that portion.
Okay, I was having a bad day. I was already in a bad mood because I'm dealing with this car. And the last thing I need is to be stressed out about trying to help this guy. I'm just in front of my house minding my own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my house just doing my thing, and now I got to deal with this. I understand that sounds like a bad person. I was having a bad day. But with that said, okay, think about what I'm saying, though. This person came here illegally. Okay, he already broke the law and came into my country. Okay, and I know you're probably going to get bitter over that. This is our home. Came into our country. And now I gotta feed you, and I gotta, like, I don't mind helping people, guys. I help people. I'm not gonna let somebody go hungry. I gave them food. I still gave them food. I was bitter about it. I wasn't in a good mood about it, but I still did it.
And to be honest with you, man, for Tiki that's talking right there, bro, there gets a point in life where, dude, $10 every day of trying to feed people, on every corner, buying flowers and buy this and buy that. Bro, I'm running.
We're getting it everywhere,
bro.
Right now,
I'm running thin, bro.
Yeah.
I'm running thin. I mean, I can't. I take bottles of water, bro, in my car because I feel bad sometimes. That hey, we got our own people working in the heat. Remember that one time we had 100-degree climates over here?
Right.
It was like 103. It was 108, 109 degrees, and here I am. I feel bad. I'm like, dude, I'm running short on change.
Yeah.
And here I am taking bottles of water so I can give these people that are working bottles of water because I'm like, dude, that's all I got, brother.
Yeah, so I'm not going around claiming I'm a good person anyways. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I mean, in God's eyes, we're all wretched people anyhow, guys. So, I just do the best that I can, and it is what it is. And the thing is, guys, what happens when it becomes more?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have so many people coming in illegally that, I mean, and to be honest, now that I remember, this is the second time this has happened. Now that I think about it, I've had this happen before. Now I wonder if it was the same guy. I'm gonna have to keep track because maybe this guy's a scam artist. But anyhow, that's the story, guys.
Rhea, please, Rhea, don't do it, Rhea. Rhea.
Well, I say Rhea 561. Send them to Tiki's house.
Oh,
One more is free to post his address.
no, Rhea, no. By all means, no. We're having a
Well, it's up to him, bro. If you want to put your address there,
No.
I'll send him your way, bro. It's all good.
No. We're having a discussion here, and again, he's talking out of the heart here. He's taking care of business, right? I think Tiki missed that portion where you're saying, "Hey, I was helping out. I was doing something, right?"
I still gave the guy food. Okay,
Yeah,
I
of
did.
course.
I gave him food.
Yeah.
And honestly, no matter how much food, I mean, I'm not. Look, I'm not going to give people money. I'll give them food. I do that all the
100%.
time. Okay.
All the time.
All right. So let's get into this here because Kamala Harris. Let's get through this together, guys. Let's get through this freaking word salad we're probably about to hear. So go ahead and hit play off it.
Here we go. Let's go.
So
Make it big.
Arizona, I think you all know, and this is why you are here, there are consequential issues at stake in this election. And one is the security of our border.
Which
The
you
United
were the
States is a
border star.
sovereign nation. And I believe we have a duty to set rules at our border and to enforce them. And I take that responsibility very seriously. We are also a nation of immigrants. The United States has been enriched by generations of people who have come from every corner of the world to contribute to our country and to become part of the American story. And so we must reform our immigration system to ensure that it works in an orderly way, that it is humane, and that it makes our country stronger.
Hit pause, Alfred. Hit pause. Be ready with that pause button because have that thing right by that pause button because I have a feeling I'm going to be pausing a lot on this thing. So doesn't she just sound like Donald Trump?
100%.
Like how many times do we have to be talking about reforming our immigration process? I mean, we all agree with reforming our immigration process, but what does it mean humane? Like who has proposed what inhumane policy has been proposed in regards to the border?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to know what policy out there, except for the Obama policy of putting kids in cages.
Exactly.
I guess maybe that's an example, right? That was pretty daggone inhumane.
If you ask me, bro, the only ones that have made any kind of policies have been the Democrats. This is them putting the policy. Remember, you can't take many moons ago with Bill Clinton, right? He was the only one that started doing something right. And then what happened? Obama came in, took over, and he just ransacked the whole immigration policy. In fact, later on, he was the one president that kept on. He was the one who was kicking out everybody. I mean, you can read this. Fact check me, whatever. He was the one who was getting all these illegal immigrants out of the nation. It was him.
Right. Rhea 561. Rhea 561. I like you.
He's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Orderly means coming in ports of entry, not in right. I mean, that's what we've been asking. We want to make it more difficult for you to come here illegally. Okay, we want to make it impossible if that's possible, but that's not possible, right?
Of course.
But we want to make it easier for people to be able to come here legally and make sure that we actually get people here that are going to be productive citizens. Obviously, I want my family to not have to come here illegally. Okay, my Mexican family. Okay, I'd rather them be able to, my cousins, my tias, right? Which is not what we're seeing right now. We talked about this, right? I mean, let's be real, people. Okay, this isn't the 80s or the 90s, right? Where you had your cousins, the people that were crossing the border were like your cousins and people coming to work. That's not what's going on. I mean, if in the chat, if you have family, when's the last time you had a family member, okay, come that can afford? I mean, what's it cost now? I mean, the last time I checked, was it like 5 years ago, maybe plus, probably over 5 years ago? It cost something like $10,000 or $15,000 to pay a coyote to cross you over. I don't think I'm wrong. You correct me on the chat if I'm wrong. That's what it costs. I mean, your primo freaking Jose or Vicente can't freaking afford $10,000 or $15,000 to pay a coyote. That's not who's coming across, right? So nobody's arguing against making it easier. So it's just it pisses me off listening to her right now, sounding like You know, she has this revelation that, you know, we need to reform our policy. But humane, what does she mean by humane? You know, that's dog whistle in liberalism to just let everybody in.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's what that means. But hit play, Alfred.
Do it. Add it in here. That. Hold on, buddy. All right, here we go. We're adding it. Oh man.
So I've just come from visiting the border and the port of entry in
Yeah,
Douglas.
finally.
I spoke with dedicated agents from Border Patrol and customs officers who every day see the overflow of commercial traffic through the port.
Yeah, why are they
These
seeing
men
that?
and women who
You've been in office for 4 years.
along our southern border help keep our nation secure. And they need more resources to do their jobs.
Yeah, why haven't you given
Which is
it to them?
why we have and are in the process of investing $500 million to modernize and expand the port of entry here in Douglas.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta say this. I gotta say this because you know what,
It's
bro?
gonna be hard to get through this, Alfred.
I know. I gotta say this. I gotta say this. So in the chat, can you guys tell me when was the last time they sent to Ukraine and how much? All right. I'm waiting for the chat. We're gonna see it. I want to know exactly how much they sent to Ukraine, right? In Israel,
Right.
Ukraine and Israel. How much did they send
To protect their
to
borders.
protect their border?
Right.
Okay. And now look at exactly what she's saying. All right. $1 billion is going to be sent for Douglas, right? According to them. But you guys know this. This is just words, right? They're going to give $1 billion supposedly for the port of entry in Douglas, $1 billion. But how much money have we sent elsewhere, including the last time we sent money to Ukraine? All right.
Yeah, and the thing is, why we don't have a money problem. We need them to allow the border agents to do their job.
Exactly.
That's it. Why are we sending more money into this? We don't even need to put money into this. We just need them to allow the border agents to do their job. Right? Catch and release is the problem. Anyhow, hit play, Alfred.
Yep. Let's do it.
You need to keep that cursor. There you go. Make it big.
And why last December I helped raise the rate of overtime pay for border agents, and also why I strongly supported the comprehensive border security bill. Written last year.
Yeah, which funded Ukraine and Israel. That's what that was.
Including one of the most conservative members of the United States Congress.
Yeah, so you failed to get it passed. I mean, even if you were to go with, I'll let her talk.
500 more border agents and officers. It would have paid for 100 inspection machines to detect fentanyl that is killing tens of thousands of Americans every year.
Crazy, man.
It would have allowed us to more quickly and
30561's on fire.
remove those
She wants to know how many modelos this chick's been
and
drinking.
it would have increased the
That's a
number of
fact.
immigration
Facts.
judges and asylum officers. It was the strongest border security bill we have seen in decades.
No, it wasn't.
It was endorsed.
So,
by
and you
the border
and you know what? Even if she was, go ahead, let it keep playing. Even if she,
hates this.
even if
There's nothing
she,
they can do to stop it.
even
New
if
electric
it was what she claims it was, then she was ineffective in getting it passed. So what's going to change next time? What's going to change if she becomes president? All of a sudden now she's going to be able to pass it?
Right.
Like what's she going to do different?
And the reason why she's complaining is because, right away she jumped into criticizing, the mega Republicans from stopping the bill, right? But she did not bother to say that for the most part, a lot of the pork that was added. Now, when I say pork, it means like it was adding all kinds of money.
There was funding for the war in Israel, and there was more funding for Ukraine on that bill, right?
It was funding, even
Right.
it was gender, it was the Green New Deal. Like she does not want to say what else. It was a pork. You're talking about less than 20% was to go to to fund the border crisis, right?
Right.
Less than 19. I think it was like 18%. The rest was all pork. It means it had all kinds of crap they wanted to pass down under our throat.
Yeah. So, and the other thing to call out here is obviously she doesn't have any new ideas because she keeps talking about the old thing they've already tried that didn't work. You failed to get it passed, right? You failed. So, okay. So what are we doing? The same thing again? And hit play, Alfred. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to finish this one, but let's hit play. Let's see what this knucklehead has to say.
Should be in effect today, producing results in real time right now for our country.
And it's funny, these people that are clapping, why didn't they vote for Trump? The people in the audience should have voted for Trump the first.
He picked up the phone and called some friends in Congress and said, stop the bill.
Well, he's obviously more of an effective leader than she is.
Instead of fixing a
You know,
problem.
he's not even president, and he's not even president, and he's making things happen.
And like, the funny thing about this, I know. Well, hey, some of you are watching us and saying like, we've already gone through this, but remember, this is something that she's already gone through. This is what she does in every single rally. In every single rally, those are her talking points.
Yep.
Trump stopped it.
Nothing new.
Nothing new. But the funny thing was that Trump didn't need no extra bill. 5 years ago when he was in control, guess who was controlling the border? Trump. And we had
Executive order. Right? That's all he did.
That's all he did. And look, we didn't have this madness. We didn't have no 12 million, immigrants, rushing through the, through the border, Haitians, Venezuelans, where now we're having to deal with a lot of the crime, right? That is happening, in our communities, right? In Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, in Chicago, Illinois, you know what I mean? These people are just being out, and for the most part, this is her talking point. It's Trump's fault. But yet again, all Trump did was submitted, the border, everybody to accomplish, their job, do their job, and did not stop he stopped the federal government from getting involved, allowing the federal agents to do their job. And this is what this lady wants. She wants to.
They ended the return to Mexico policy. And this is why that happened. That's all they had to do was just leave it alone. Trump talks about it all the time, right? Let's try to. If she's going to keep going with the same nonsense, Alfred, we're not going to finish. Let's hit play, and then we might decide to move on to something else.
Serve a president who cares more about border security than playing political games and their personal political future.
Same talking points.
And so even though Donald Trump tried to sabotage the border security bill, it is my pledge to you that as president of the United States, I will bring it back up and proudly.
We're going to force it down your throat. All that pork, we're going to force it down your throats.
And let me say, the issue of border security is not a new issue to me. I was Attorney General.
There we go, bro. It's the same freaking.
I saw the violence that transnational criminal
Alfred,
organizations cause.
It's her same.
And the heartbreak
And the chat. Should we just end this
Bro,
thing? Unless you guys want to keep listening to this nonsense. I'm sure it's the same thing. So we're gonna move on for this, guys.
I couldn't. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't take it because at the end of the day, these are all just lies. Listen, this lady has been in control. She's been the border czar for the last 4 years and have done what? Right? Now that it's happening, this is beneficial, right? Now she goes to Douglas, the outskirts of Arizona, to tell you, I've been to the border finally after 4 years. But yet again, you saw some of the tests, some of her interviews, right? Talking with what's his name, Stelzer, that she hasn't been to Europe. So now that it's beneficial for her, she went to the border. Finally.
Well, where she hasn't been is the go ahead and hit escape off so we can see that next. But where she hasn't been, that Trump has, is the whole disaster thing going on over there in Georgia, and where else did it hit? Florida, Georgia, and Virginia?
I think Virginia.
Yeah, I forgot what states. I haven't been paying attention.
The Carolinas.
Yeah, so they have the whole disaster thing going on over there. She hasn't been. Guess who else hasn't been over there? Sleepy Joe.
Oh,
Isn't he still president?
bro,
You know, but Trump went down there, and you can make the argument, well, of course, you know, he's trying to run for president, but at least he's smart enough to go down there, right? She doesn't even care to go down there. And Sleepy Joe is the current president of the United States, and he hasn't even bothered to show up over there, right? Why? Because he's not running for office. You know, this is how they show their true colors. You know what I mean? You know, that this is exactly what they do. They're not running for office, so right now they don't care. It's what they do to black people all the time, right?
that's right.
Every 4 years, they show up at your black churches, you know, talking about, you know, reparations and, you know, all that nonsense. But this is a perfect example. They're not even Sleepy Joe doesn't care about the people out there in Florida and Georgia and I don't know, I guess it's the Carolinas that are having all these problems, which leads me to another rant that, you know, I'm tired of Florida. I'm tired of bailing out Florida, bro. People got to stop living in Florida. Every year,
Be careful
every
now. Ray is right there.
oh, who do we have somebody that lives? Look, I'm sorry, but okay.
Ray, we're not talking about you, Ray.
Well,
We're just,
listen, I don't know where in Florida you live. I've never been to Florida. If there's areas of Florida that are safe from natural disasters and you have your home built there, I'm good with it. Okay. But these areas in Florida that we're continuously having to spend money to every single year, right?
Mhm.
Every year we're rebuilding you guys. Like, man, at what point do we stop building stuff there? You know, it's like you go to the beach and you keep building the sandcastle and somebody comes and kicks it all the time and there you are rebuilding it all the time.
That's true.
When do you just stop? You know? So
That's so true, man.
yeah, man. So moving on here, NBC News. More than 13,000 immigrants convicted of homicide are living outside immigration detentions in the U.S., according to ICE. Right? So two law enforcement officials said many of those migrants crossed into the U.S. under previous administrations, and that the total includes people serving U.S. prison sentences. So some of these people they're in our prison, so we're having to even pay for these people.
That's if they stay, because you guys got to remember the governor here in California, Governor Newsom. Remember, he cleared out the jails because remember COVID, he cleared them out. 50,000 people just ran free. And
Yeah,
could
so
that include some of these immigrants? You don't know.
yeah, so according to this article, it says more than 13,000 immigrants convicted of homicide, either in the United States or abroad, are living outside of immigration and custom enforcement detentions, according to the data ICE provided to Congress earlier this week. So Trump is right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one thing I actually was wondering if, you know, he's always talking about it, you know, and look, trust but verify. A lot of times I'm kind of like, I wonder if Trump's exaggerating this whole
Believe me.
emptying out their prisons and sending their you know, they're not sending their best. They're not sending their best, right? You know, you're sending rapists and murderers. You know, not that I didn't believe that there were some, but I kind of thought Trump might have been exaggerating too. You know what I mean? Like, are these guys really emptying out their prisons? Well, apparently they are, because now ICE is even backing it up. You know?
Finally, right? I mean, finally now the government. I mean, it only took them 4 years, right, just to comply or just to say that's it. We had enough. We got to tell the people exactly what's going on here. And remember, ICE, Immigration Services, the ones that were protecting. Remember, they were creating these little barriers when you had, you know, some of the journalists, right, the citizen journalists that were seen, like for example in TJ, really close by. They were be putting the buses around, right, people, so people can't see what was going on. Remember?
Yeah, sorry, I'm laughing at the names. Some of the names are funny. Oscar Golden Boy Munoz. I was like, is Oscar de la Hoya?
Yeah.
Bro, Oscar de la Hoya's on the chat. But
Shout out, buddy.
yeah, bro. I mean, I understand. Yeah, he has been on point about everything. So this is why I'm not flat out saying I just sometimes I'm skeptical, but most of the time, like, you know, he's on point.
He is on point.
You know, you're right.
I mean, when he said, when he was talking about how, you know, they're eating your cats, bro. I mean, the constant videos I see on X, bro, of kids, you know, people, you know, strangling cats, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, cats mean 89. Yes, you're right. They're illegal immigrants. Thank you for correcting me. You're correct. See, I'm getting brainwashed by the left
Yes.
media, bro. They're starting to freaking mess with my brain even. You know what I mean?
But we got the chat that's keeping us accountable. We need patrons like yourselves to keep us Latino patrons like yourselves.
Thank you for getting me right. So the article goes on to say that immigrants are part of ICE's non-detained docket, meaning the agency has some. Oh, you moved it off. I'm reading. Has some information on the immigrants, and they have pending immigration cases in the U.S., but they are not currently in detention either because they are not prioritized for detention. How can they not be prioritized? They are serving time in a jail or prison for their crimes or because ICE cannot find them. 3 law enforcement officials said. So yeah, some of these guys are running around, out there, rapists and murderers. I mean, we've already heard the stories, right? 2 of the officials said that it's not known how many are incarcerated because ICE is not always privy to that data from the states and local law enforcement agencies. Well, yeah, because the sanctuary states, right? They're not working with ICE.
They're not.
So, we don't know. So yeah, man, that's that. So, Trump was right again, guys. So, so when I go back to that story of that guy rolling up on my house asking me for food, that's kind of scary, guys. I mean, that guy could be some freaking child molester or something. You know what I mean? Some rapist or some murderer rolling up on me. When's that going to happen? But, here we go, guys. Chicago, gangs clash with Venezuela trend. What is it? Tren del Agua, right? I guess that's the gang over there.
That's a gang in Venezuela coming out here.
Yeah, so there's this guy here who he's a former gang member. I think if you scroll down, this is on Fox News. Scroll down a little bit after I think his name is on there. So ex-con for community and social change founder Tyrone Mohammed, right? So this guy goes on Fox News to discuss what's going on in Chicago. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, with all these crazy people going into Chicago, all these Venezuela gang members, right? When's the hood going to start, taking matters in their own hands, right? So now we're starting to hear talks about how, some of these gangs, American gangs, the brothers out there, the African American gangsters, right. They're going to probably start taking matters in their own hands. And I didn't have the video here, but I was watching another one where a guy goes out on the streets to start talking about it goes into the neighborhoods in Chicago to talk to some of the gangsters there. And, one guy even admitted that apparently some of these Venezuela gang members, they took over a whole building. And they took over the building and they stand guard out there. They see him out there with these guns. And the guy said the guns are even bigger than they are. But he admitted that these guys are actually more hardcore than they are even. You know what I mean? These are serious criminals. But it's just a matter of time, guys. So let's go ahead and check out this interview here with this gentleman here on Fox News. See what he has to say. Hit play.
Spending $464 million on this crisis. Can y'all be using that money somewhere else?
$464 million.
Household, Lawrence, where you yourself would pay my mortgage before you pay your own. That would be considered crazy. So that's the very fact that our government believe with all the issues and systemic disinvestment that's happening to all these communities throughout America, that you were in our face when for specifically Chicago, where Black voters have voted for one party consistently and religiously, that party would not listen to the voters or the community to say, us first. We should be first. Put us first. And the very notion that anyone would have the audacity to think that non-citizens should go before the Black community and the most impoverished communities is asinine.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a slap in the face. So that's the first part of this problem.
Hey, Buzz. Actually, we could just hit play after this, Alfred, because it's the same. You know how we put this up. We don't have to hit the other tab. But anyhow, guys, yeah, what was it? $464 million, right? I think that's what the number was. To deal with this problem. And the only thing I'll disagree is not money that would just go to black communities, but yes, of course, we're in the context of supposedly the Democratic Party is for the black brothers. You know what I mean? They're for the hood. They're for the people. With their little. Let me see. Do you see my little fist? They're for the people. No, man, they're leaving these dudes hanging, but not just them. They're leaving all of us hanging, right?
That's true.
I mean, we're the ones that have to deal with this. We're the ones that are having to pay, the higher gas prices and more for food and eggs and milk. I mean, this is why this is happening.
Exactly.
How many people out there that, I mean, just like an example, right now we're dealing, little personal things here, but I'm going to be general. My father-in-law is having issues, so now we're going to probably have to get, find some social, some assisted living for him.
Mhm.
I mean, are we going to get, are they going to give him housing? You know what I mean?
I doubt it, man.
Are they going to pay for? No, we're too busy giving money. And we're American citizens.
Bro, I mean, just to tell you, what about our vets? I mean,
Right.
that should answer you everything. I mean, we got 11,000 veterans living in California that are homeless. 11,000. These are people that served our country, and these people have no heart. You know what I mean? So now, if these are our veterans, what is it going to be of me and you?
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. Next, look at we're in election season, right? And then open up your little pamphlet there, and we're going to see how many propositions and how many we need money for this, we need money for that, right? If it costs money, vote no. It's
That's
that
right.
simple. If you have not read up on the issue, if it costs money, vote no. It's that simple, guys.
And how do I do this? Go to Validpedia. You'll be able to look at the measures, or look at the whatever they're offering, and just type it in there. And if you go to Validpedia, you'll be able to see what at the end of the day they break it down for you, and then you'll be able to see exactly how much money it's going to cost per. I mean,
Well,
right now,
I can't think of one policy that I would condone voting yes for if it costs money. I don't care what it is, even if it's like we need X amount of dollars to deport all of these people, I'm voting no.
that's right.
Dude, we need to cut programs and come up with the money that way, okay? Because I don't trust these people to do it, okay? So
Definitely don't trust the government trying to control. They're the ones who created the problem. Now they want to provide you a solution at cost.
right,
And you know what? At cost, you know what that means.
yeah, we
At
could.
cost, that means they're gonna put their own stamp of seal to control. The less the possible.
Yeah, even put it this way: if Donald Trump becomes president and he starts asking for money to build a border wall, no,
I will say no.
no. Cut funding for abortions and then get it from there. Cut funding for gender. Let's cut all that stuff. Shut down PBS, public broadcasting. Right? Stop funding them. Okay, and get your money from there. No, don't be asking for any, not even for the wall. Okay, get it from somewhere else. I hope you guys, if that makes sense, right? Because we already know they spend money on nonsense,
That
right?
you do.
I mean, for these dumb little studies that we watch these commercials, studies say that going on a hike makes you happier. Duh, really? You know what I mean? The studies show the exercise helps with stress and anxiety. I mean, do you really need a study for that? Did we need to spend millions of dollars? I could have told you that.
100%.
You know what I mean? Studies show that if you eat less calories, you'll lose weight.
Duh.
Like it's ridiculous. That's the kind of nonsense we're funding, guys. But let's hit play.
Second problem is that you got the gangs that are coming in now. Twende de Agua is now fighting with the local gangs. And this is on top of an already problem right now. You got robbery that's up 12%. Aggravated battery is up 13%.
This is Chicago.
It's up 43%.
Motor vehicle 43%.
Now, the local gangs are already in Chicago. Explain to us what's happening on
the gangsters are even upset with the rising crime. That's how bad it is.
A vice president who said she specialized in locking up and arresting transnational gangs.
Pay attention.
While the very party that she's a part of, the policies with the sanctuary cities and the border crisis, she supports. And now the influx of it is, which is oxymoronic. At the same time, now we have to fight transnational gangs
Right.
and the influx
Mercenaries.
of these men who we don't know where they come, what crimes they committed, and the violence that they've been involved with thus far. With that being said,
I mean, sorry, I gotta stop it, bro. I gotta stop it. But for many, I don't know if you guys remember, you know, like some of you wanna, I'm gonna take you back to memory lane, right? Memory lane. That means that a lot of us, we were hearing this in the news. Look, guys, they're fighting men. Remember? We kept on seeing it everywhere. We kept on hearing it here, hearing it there. They're fighting men, fighting young people, right? Remember, this is who they are. Mercenaries, right? People that were allowed by the federal government, and now they're being funded by federal government. Wow, that's too rough for you to say. No. Read about it, man. We're seeing receipts from people. Right now, we got the chats that are telling us EBTs are being offered to illegal immigrants for this. I mean, they're giving them the EBTs, the monies, $15,000, right, to keep them abroad, to continue to pay for their food, right, for the right to be here. This is happening here. It's being funded by our own federal government. Mercenaries, people that are going to go out and do exactly what this guy's talking about. And I'm sorry I'm going on a rant, but it's the truth.
Yeah, man. That's right, Golden Boy Munoz. We seriously need to push California. Oh, you moved. I moved.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
What was it? Sorry about that, man.
No, you're good.
Seriously.
Yeah. Push California Democrats out and go red. Yeah, man. I mean, we were just talking about it the last podcast, man. You know, we got to step it up this time, guys. If you have friends that vote red, we need a ballot harvest. It's legal, okay? We need to get those ballots. You know, all your lazy friends that are willing to vote Republican and for Trump, but are too lazy to go take the ballot to the drop box, take it for them, okay? And if they're liberal nut jobs, don't even mention that it's election day.
Don't even.
Okay.
Don't even let them figure it out.
Yeah, but going back to the video, guys. So this is what's going to end up happening, right? So the homeboys in Chicago, right? The black well, not homeboys, like the gangsters, the black guys, right?
Yep.
That are out there, these black gangs. They're going to take matters in their own hands, and guess who's going to go to jail? They're going to go to jail. They're going to go to jail doing the job of the government. Okay, can you blame these guys if they start going out there and start, trying to take care of business and take these guys out of here and protect their own neighborhoods? I mean, that's what's kind of interesting to me. If I'm not here to incite violence. This is a disclaimer here, okay? I'm not promoting and inciting violence. I'm just talking about common sense and logic, okay?
Right.
The way I look at this is this. Gangs supposedly, they're about their hood and protecting their neighborhood, right? This is their territory. This is my hood, right? So if you're a gang member and you don't take action, you're a hypocrite, right? I mean, because you've been out there all these years protecting your neighborhood against other American citizens, but now you actually have a real invasion into your neighborhood, right? You actually have like a real threat, right? Like you actually have some foreign, bad people coming into your neighborhood, and you're not going to do anything about it. That just wouldn't make sense, right? But unfortunately for these guys, if they start doing something, they're going to go to jail, and they're the ones that are going to get convicted for murder and for violence or assault, having weapons. How do these guys even have weapons? How do these Venezuela gang members even have weapons? Right?
That's a good question.
Where are they getting their weapons from? Did they bring them with them? Are they being provided weapons? I don't know, guys. Regardless, doesn't make what do you guys think? I mean, there's only two logical options. Either they brought the weapons with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they came here and they were given weapons, either for free or they bought them. And if they bought them, where did they get the money from?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to have some more handguns. You know what I mean? I'd like to have a couple more, an AR. I'd like to have another pistol, a concealed carry. I actually put in my application for my concealed carry here in LA County, and I have my appointment is like September 2025.
God,
You
bro,
know what
are
I
you
mean?
kidding me?
So,
I mean,
so
this is your Second Amendment, and look, this is the way the government does it, man. They're giving you your guns, but it's at their leisure, at their pleasure, at their time. They're providing all this. Can you imagine all these people that get tired of it, the process?
yeah, Hector Munoz, civil war is what they want. Maybe.
100%. Yeah.
I mean,
Hector Munoz, okay, they're clicking up. Okay, man. Hey, man, that chat right there is going off the hook, man. All that, we can't keep up with it, man. It's going so fast that we can't keep up with it, man.
Rio. Oh, so is that where you're from? Rio 561, come to Florida? Heck no. You guys get
Look at the hurricanes.
you guys get hurricanes all the time. I mean,
Over here, we're dying.
I don't know, Alfred.
Over here, we're dying with the fires, right? Over here, the fires and 103, and we're dying.
Well,
right?
if you live in the mountains, you got to deal with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
here it's not that difficult. You just
Not
don't
that bad.
freaking live in the fire area. You're good. Okay.
That's right. No, that's true. But
So,
over there, bro, the
but I guess
hurricane-
we got to think about this, Alfred. Do we deal with these Democrat policies here that are killing us to death, right? Or do we go to Florida and risk being
blown away
by hurricanes? I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's like, which poison should we choose, bro? I mean, which poison? Choose your poison, right?
Yeah, Rio 561. I don't know, man. I think I'd go to Idaho before I went out there.
Probably will, man.
Yeah.
100%, man. But for the most part, man, but this is exactly what Muhammad is talking about, man. He's talking about how this is becoming a whole world war. You're bringing these people into people's town. Think about it. Chicago was already getting in the weekend. 50 people were dying weekly. This is in the weekend. Now, can you imagine? Now you add these gangs into the hood, into their communities, and now they're forced to fight, against each other for the land, for the apartments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Hector mentioned. Hector's right. They want civil war, but this is what they want.
Well, I just started watching, guys. I just watched the first. I haven't even finished it. So Kevin Costner, he started his new show that is called Horizon, I think, right? So you guys haven't watched it. It's a 3-hour episode, man. So I watched half of it, hour and a half, and so it takes place back, when the settlers were, coming to the West, right? And so it looks to me like we're going back to those times. If you guys have watched it, the first episode so far, I don't want to. No, I don't want to ruin the episode, but we know it's cowboys and Indian stuff, right? So it's kind of the same thing here, where we got fighting over land,
Right.
which looks like we're getting set up for, right? We're going to be fighting over land now, right? Again,
I mean, this is just to fuel exactly what's going on with the Democrat Party. They're already saying that this is their land. You know what I mean? Like, we removed the land from the indigenous. I mean, even though I'm Mexican, right? This is our, this is Mexico, whatever they call it. But at the end, this is more. They're fueling this whole narrative about, hey, the fight for the land. Well, Indians were already fighting for land.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Alfred. Rio 561. I understand you get plenty of time to evacuate, but your house is still underwater, and your car. I mean, it's all good, but then you come back and it's all gone.
It's like the water. You got the water stains all the way at the half of the house. How do you deal with that? The mold and all that stuff. What do you do, Ria? Tell us. This is what we do. We don't go through. We go through the earthquakes here. We go through the fires, right? But we don't go with half your house being underwater. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. You're not telling me on that one there, bro. And looked like Golden Boy there. I guess he's been to Florida and he thinks Cali is better. So I mean, I don't know.
It's humid, bro. It's humid. I mean, it's nice. It's beautiful. I think Florida is beautiful to visit. I mean, but I'm just scared of the hurricane.
So guys, let's move on to this next story here. This is another lovely one. Taxpayer-funded Minneapolis food pantry bans white people as boss astonishing outburst at local who complained is revealed. So this article is crazy, guys. So scroll up a little bit here, Alfred. Oh no, the other way. Yeah. So this her name is Michaela Jackson. Let's just call her. She's from Minneapolis. So she opens up this pantry. And she used, scroll down after where it talks about a grant. Okay. No, go up a little bit. Hold on. So pantry, okay. She opened this pantry up on July 27th. and then was forced to close this pantry because I guess she had it on a church ground after she attempted to block white people from accessing the service, including local chaplain who complained. So this chaplain, I guess, must have been white. So go ahead and go up a little bit, Alfred. But it turns out that she got this.
Sorry.
It's okay. Blah blah blah. Oh, Alfred. Some blah blah pantry reads. Blah blah blah. Civil rights complaint made against the regular was a civil rights complaint. Okay, let's keep going because it talks about what is this. Keep going. Okay, go up a little bit, Alfred. Go back to the sign. Let's look at this sign, guys. So she had this sign that says the resources found in here are intended for Black, Indigenous folks. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. Okay. Super racist sign. Okay. Can you imagine, right? I don't need to say it. If it just said Black people can't get it, it would be over in every platform, they would have burned it down to the ground.
Right.
Right. But let's scroll up a little bit because this
If
is
it would have had white people only.
right.
Okay, remember, white people. We want to put. Come on, we're stating the facts here. She's saying only indigenous folks only, right? But can you imagine being it just white only?
Right. They would have burned it to the ground. She would have made it out alive. So it turns out that trip out on this. So this place is in Minneapolis where there's 58% white, with 18% of the population is African American. Okay. But it goes on to talk about the grant. The grant description states how the funds. So remember, she opened up this pantry using a grant, a state grant. Okay.
Mhm.
But this grant, the funds are specifically designed to support organizations that work with U.S. born African Americans, for whom studies indicate that health has been impacted as a result of historical trauma. This trauma includes post-traumatic slave syndrome and epidemic. I can't read big words. Epigenetic inheritance. Okay, so do you guys believe in this whole? Guys, before you start criticizing me on my inability to read big words or words that I don't use all the time, keep in mind that I went to a government-funded school. Okay, so the government educated me. All right, so there you go. All right,
There, the cat is out of the
there you
bag.
go. I was put through a Democrat governed school system.
Yep.
Okay,
This is the making of their policies.
right. I'm a product.
victim of
That's there you go. Okay,
the victim of the policies.
right. So the last podcast we couldn't do basic math,
Right.
and I can't even read a word right now. So that's all again another example of Democrat policies. But so guys, what do you guys think? Because the way I look at this is the fact this grant itself
Mhm.
is the problem. Because really, she was using the money for what it was intended to do.
Exactly.
Right? If you have a problem with what she was doing, it starts with this state grant. If she used it for what it was for. I mean, it would have been inappropriate for her to use that money to help white people,
100%.
Chinese,
Yep.
or Mexicans even.
I agree. I mean, I honestly look at what the grant is saying.
That's what it says.
The grant stating for that it needed to be used for that cause. And look, she took advantage, full advantage, created the signs, right? Even in fact, if you look on the look on the thing, you start seeing everything. Look, liberate the people, right? And look at what it says the signs.
Black folks, free
Black folks,
food,
free
free
food,
herbs.
free herbs, right? It's like, like this is look,
It's a nice little pantry, guys.
little pantry.
But if that sign said white only, that thing would have been burned down to the ground.
Yeah, but look, that's exactly what the chaplain is complaining about. Look at what the chaplain says.
Yeah, guys. So that's ridiculous, guys. That's the grant itself is the problem. The fact that you could even have a grant that you could allocate based on race and gender shouldn't even. That's got to be some sort of violation of the Constitution or Civil Rights Act.
100%.
The grant itself. I'm no lawyer, guys, but I mean, I just have some little common sense, right?
Of course. And I'm not going to blame the lady because she's just doing it as intended by the grant, right? The grant was created that.
Well, we can blame her for being a racist anyways,
course
Alfred.
so,
She's
of
not still
course.
racist.
Of course.
The fact that she's going into some grant and taking money that's for black people only, and then opening it up, that still is a problem. But with that said, let's not glaze over the grant itself. The grant itself was racist, and everybody who was responsible for passing that grant, funding it, whatever, they're all racist.
100%. So that's why I go with the chaplain. It says the chaplain went and took a look at the pantry for himself, but claimed how a white man was refused service. So think, a chaplain. This is somebody that's going in there saying, "Hey, I'm going to go check it out."
Yep.
In fact, maybe the chaplain needed a little bit of money, and then boom, he got confronted with the signs. Black folks only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that to him is like, oh, wait a minute. That is not something that we in the community should look out for, right? I mean, or should we? Should we create this kind of barrier? Are we going back to the 60s and 50s and create, are we going to create the pantries of black folks and the pantries of white folks? Might as well just take it back to the 1950s where we used to say, this waterfall here is for color and white, right? This is what they want.
Yeah. And like we mentioned, the area where she's at is 58% white people. So what's the chances that some single white woman, right?
Right.
Maybe a battered woman. Let's do what the liberals do. They always give you like the most sob story, right? With the whole abortion thing, they always be like, "Oh, what about in case of incest or in case of rape?" Right? So let's just use that trick on them. So what happens when you have a battered woman with her 4 children that she can't feed, and she's white, and she goes up to this pantry like, "Sorry, woman, lady, you're white, and your little white kids, sorry, that ain't for you."
Yeah, nah. This is the doing of the the doing of liberal policies here, man.
Yep.
Like trying to get away from it.
Yeah, guys. So this next tab here on X, so we have our buddy here, Tim Waltz, at a Michigan game, right? And can you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine the storm? This look at this. This if this was Donald Trump, so notice, right, guys? It's as if we didn't have two arguably 3 assassination attempts, right? That were reported for like a day, and then now you don't even hear about it, right?
Exactly. They scrubbed it. They scrubbed it.
Right. It didn't happen, right? We don't even hear about it anymore, right? But you very well know if this was Donald Trump flipping the bird, that would be on the news cycle for at least a week. They would. I mean, geez, we're still hearing about good people on both sides years later, even after it was proven to be false. We're still hearing about it, right? But play the video here, guys.
Sure.
Look at Tim Watts walking out of the tunnel getting heckled. Let it loose.
There he is, flipping them off.
Yeah, 2024,
Flipping
baby.
them off.
Yep.
2024,
There he
baby.
is. That's off. Right there.
Look at
There's
that.
a finger.
Look at that. You know that's not an accident, guys.
It's not.
You know it's not an accident.
He's trying to say, but he's, again. I mean, like I said.
And that's in Michigan, bro.
That is in Michigan, bro. Nobody's there. Look, nobody's paying attention
there.
to the guy. Nobody's paying attention to the guy. And he's just there, somebody happens to scream, Trump 24, he's over there like waving, but at the same time flipping people off.
You guys know that if that was Trump walking out of the tunnel into the tunnel, that whole area would have been packed with people.
It would have been packed for sure.
Packed with people wanting to see him go walk through there, right?
That's right.
I mean, okay, maybe this was hours or way after, was it maybe, I don't know, the game hadn't even started yet. People are just getting in. I don't know. Maybe, we don't know the context, but there's not a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, this is Michigan.
I mean, this is a swing state. I mean, think about it, guys. Tomorrow there's going to be a debate. Okay, tomorrow there's going to be JD Vance and the cis guy right here, and they're both military, man. Right? One with valor, one without. I mean, at the end, they're going to duke it out. There's conversations about having a discussion. And so we're gonna see. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, to be honest with you, but
the VP debate?
Debate, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a VP debate tomorrow.
Are you guys gonna watch that debate? You let us know in the chat. I don't know. I guess I kind of have to for this podcast. I guess I can talk about it.
There's gonna be so much. I mean, there's just gonna be so many people putting their own, their own thoughts on the. I'm just probably gonna have to get. I'm probably gonna go to X, take it to X with one of the accounts, Fox. What's his name? One of the gentlemen is pretty Alpha Fox. My homie Alpha Fox.
What's
at X.
Hector says Medi suppressed the hell out of that. Who's Medi?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, right now we're catching catching. There's so many messages going through, bro. We can't keep up, man. That's going to eat. Yeah, that's true, man.
Vance is gonna eat tampon tip. I don't know, man. JD Vance. I like the guy. I told I watched the movie, and I like his story,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's Trump's successor. I like how he handles the media. He's very sharp, very articulate.
Of course.
He doesn't have charisma though, man. The guy's kind of boring.
Like,
You know what I mean?
It reminds me of DeSantis. I mean, like DeSantis he's
You
good
think
at
so?
what he does. Yeah,
I haven't seen enough of JD. He just doesn't catch my attention. He's kind of boring. I don't think.
you know what? He's very, like you mentioned, he's very articulate. He knows how to handle his own with the media. I think for the most part, I feel that he's smart. He can get himself out of hot water with media, and he's shown himself to do so, and that's what counts, right? Now, on the other hand, we got this guy that's never been put into the fire, and of course you got the soup lady who I mean has only done one actual debate, so and four controlled interviews is just it's like the Oprah. Remember the Oprah? It was just they had to bring in all these people, stories after stories, trying to make you cry, just so you won't, acknowledge how horrible she is with having a discussion.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't. JD Vance doesn't excite me. I mean, we'll see. I guess you know what I'm gonna watch. I mean, I think he's smart. Don't get me wrong, guys. I think he's smart.
Yeah.
I still in the back of my head. I give him. He was younger. I know he was talking some trash about Trump
In
in the beginning, and the only reason I give him a pass is because he was younger when he said that, and hopefully he was red pill. But let's keep an eye on the guy, okay, guys. But I don't think if God willing Trump wins, and 4 years from now, for the next election, I don't think he's the guy. I just don't think he's so far from what I can tell. He's not exciting. I don't think he has the charisma. Vivek to me is light years ahead of him. And I know there's been some questions on Vivek, but again, both of these guys are young. A lot of the accusations and concerns was when they were younger. This was before they started kind of seeing and paying attention and realizing that, hey, man, we've all been there, right?
Right.
We've all been there where we didn't really understand. We were in the matrix and didn't know what's going on. And I think these guys, especially Vivek, man, Vivek is, I don't know, right now, man, in a way, I guess, I'm glad that Vivek is not the VP to a certain extent. So it's a double-edged sword to me, okay? In the one hand, if Trump does some dumb stuff, then at least Vivek isn't going to be attached to it.
That's true.
Okay, like if he doesn't drain the swamp like he said he was, if
Which I
he
doubt.
doesn't address
Which I doubt is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I
I
think
mean, he's starting to say some good things, but we'll see. Okay,
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
But Vivek, so if Trump goes out there and starts, doesn't address the national debt, then a lot of the negative things that Trump will probably do the next 4 years, if he's elected, at least Vivek won't be wrapped up in it.
True.
Okay, that's kind of where I'm looking at it. And JD will, right?
True.
JD will be attached to anything Trump does. But I just don't think, but in the other hand, the opposite, the other hand, I would have liked for Vivek to be the VP because I think Vivek is way more effective, even right now, than JD has been going out with the media. He schools everyone, and he has charisma. You can listen to the guy. He grabs attention to the people. It's very difficult to take his words out of context.
Yeah.
Oh, are we
Hey,
frozen up out
hey,
there?
no. Sorry about the Jiminy Cricket, right? We're hearing Jiminy Cricket, so we
Yeah.
have Jiminy Cricket in here. So sorry about that.
Yeah,
No, that's fine. Refreshing itself. Oh, I
yeah. So
think
who said Golden Boy far better than? Yeah.
yeah,
Who is? Are you talking about Vivek? I mean, if that's what you're talking about, I agree. I think he's far better than Vivek. I'm sorry, than JD. Vivek is far better than JD, in my opinion, at this time. Tulsi
correct.
Gabbard would be a great. Not sure if she would have gone. Yeah, I agree. Was this Panther Equa 82? Tulsi Gabbard, I think, would have been also better.
That's right.
To me, Vivek or Tulsi would have been great. Again, I am very conservative, but I trust Tulsi. I think she loves America, even though I probably don't agree with all of her policies. I think she would have been fine. But I guess my only issue with her is I don't want to propel a. I want a real conservative, and to me, Vivek is more conservative than Trump is. Even he is more. He's more to the right than Trump is. Trump is definitely a middle. And for me personally, I don't know about everybody else in the chat. I am very very conservative. Small government, you know, low taxes, no wars. Um, I don't need to be giving welfare or any of that stuff.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Hey, something is better as long as we don't go for Kamala people. Come on, Latino people, you guys got to wake up. Some of you that are out there just thinking that hey, Kamala's going to do it for you, the first woman, in America to take a. That's the same thing they said about the first black man. Remember Obama? Remember the hope, and there was no hope there.
Oh, who's this guy? Michael Bale? Did I see that right? Someone went up to my neighbor's house with a hatchet last night. It's
Bro,
on my story. I feel like this needs to be posted, huh?
well, I mean,
I
again,
guess go to his story and see if.
well, just be careful going into, all these, go into a rabbit hole. Sometimes people post stuff just,
Yeah,
but
I
anyhow,
don't know if
hey,
that's true.
Michael, well, hey, we can't confirm or deny, Michael, but hey, we're here to support,
Well,
brother.
let's just say that's just a piece for the Second Amendment, guys. Okay.
Right, that's it.
I mean,
That's it.
some guy goes up to my house with the hatchet. He's gonna have problems. He's definitely did not come with the right tools,
That's so true, man.
right?
Yep. Yep. For the most part, man. Hey, but Latino people, like I mentioned to you guys, man, it's something that's why we're doing here the School of Hard Knocks, right? The unrestrained podcast through Lexit. We're just trying to get together with our Latino people. And I know some of you that are listening to us and for the first time are like, "Ooh, this is way too long." Well, this is why it's a podcast, right? You join it, we take off. We brought you some stories, we brought you some things. Hopefully, in the next we're hoping next week we can get you guys plugged in and you guys can call in and then you'll be part of the stream, man. That's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, guys. This is our second time. Hopefully, the sound was good this time. I'm actually not going to be here most likely next week. I'm supposed to be on vacation, but yeah, guys. Go ahead. Just as a reminder, thank you guys for going on the chat. This is kind of fun. I actually like this because I like reading the chats. I love reading comments on. We got to figure out a way. I've always thought that comments on videos are it's like an untapped
Well, actually,
entertainment. People
well,
are the funniest, man.
we do have people like for example, I like this. We can show the chats. Like you'll be able to see them. You for the most part here, you'll see it. Glad to see Lexit start spaces. Yeah, we are. This is an X. We have, I think, Ana Rodriguez who said Trump 2024. Well, so we're able to put some of this stuff up there.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I just think people are funny. Anytime I watch a video and you start reading comments, I'm sure everybody does it. It's hilarious, man. Some of the stuff people come up with. But so this is fun for me. I like reading these chats, guys. Keep it up. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel because we have our own YouTube channel, which is the Unrestrained Podcast. I would appreciate it if you guys like, subscribed, hit the notification bell. We don't go live on that one, but I hope at some point if we get our numbers up, we'll start doing that.
That's right. Hey, you want to give a shout out to these people in the chats? Go for it.
Yeah, that's true, Marcia. Welfare is good for a couple months, but the problem is that people take advantage, right? So I don't have a problem with it, but let's just have some common sense, right?
Right.
If we're gonna have programs like that, we can't have people taking advantage of it, and it's just common sense. Anytime anybody tries to make these things, where you can reform it, you have to get drug tested or something like that, right? 100%. Or you say, okay, you know what, you're gonna be on food stamps for 6 months. That's it. after that, you better make it happen. I mean, is it unrealistic for me to, I mean, maybe there's some exceptions out there, people that have disabilities. And let's just say generally generally speaking, if you are able to work, okay, and you have no reason mentally or physically to not be able to do a job, I don't see why it's not. Let's just say, I don't know, we can debate this. I'm just going to say 6 months. I'm going to throw 6 months out there, right? And that's what you get, food stamps. After that, you're on your own. Figure it out.
Most definitely, including our veterans. I think our veterans should be the first in the line, man. Our veterans should be the ones who have to take care of. It sucks to hear that, some of our veterans are getting like $36, like a week, bro. That's a disgrace. You know what I mean?
You know what?
We gotta do better.
Contra Manche says every president is linked by bloodline. Guys, I'm pretty open minded about stuff. I mean, we know some crazy stuff with the whole conspiracies, right? I mean,
Yep.
Diddy, all that stuff, right? I mean, you can't be wrong about all of them. But I mean, I've seen the stuff where people talk about, Barry Soetoro.
Yep.
Barry Soetoro is somehow related to the Clintons, which I guess is possible because he is half black. Do you guys know who Barry Soetoro is? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is half black, right? So I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. But does it really matter? Does it really matter, guys, if they're linked by bloodline? The bottom line is we got to get out there and vote, and
I'm going through the chat, bro. It's just there's so many chat, bro. There's just so many messages, man.
Yeah, Pantry 82 personally asking people at work who they're voting for. Mostly say Trump. So make sure, Panther, that if you can get their ballots, drop it off for them.
Drop it off for them, bro.
Just in case.
Bro, I mean, come on, Arizona got lost for about, I think it was like 800. It was like 10,000 votes in Arizona. You know what I mean? So in California here, man, we got a milestone to cover, because I know everybody here is all liberal, but we can do it, man. We can create change here.
All right, guys. Well,
yes, there's one more.
What says Trump is bought land paid by IPAC? I don't know. Tell me more, Contra Mantis.
Tell us more, bro. I mean, we love conspiracies.
Yeah. What else we got? Owens. I can't read it. Own it. Oh, we got a realtor. Own it now, realty. Thank you for all you guys. I appreciate it, man. Man, I don't know what state you're in, but it's pretty crazy out here in California with the new California commission laws. Them realtors are struggling out here right now.
And they're hurting. They're hurting really bad because, as you know, the governor's, putting all kinds of stuff.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Appreciate it, man.
And to them, they're making a lot of implementations. Remember, they want to control. Think about it, bro. Did you hear governor wants to create a law? That I guess children that are working, child actors, I think, they're going to start, taxing or forcing them to set aside some money for young actors or something like that. And I was just like, what the heck is going on, man?
Yeah.
Why is the government controlling everything that we have to say in California? Golly, wake up, people.
Yeah, Meg Hidalgo, nació en Sinaloa and is voting for Trump for the third time. Man, you're racist, bro. You're a traitor. You're a traitor to your people. You're a traitor to your people. That's what they're going to tell you,
That's
right?
what they say, bro. That's what they tell us.
Yeah.
That's what they say. They say, hey, bro, how dare you that you're voting for the racist? Oh, prove me that he's racist. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, cool. Ria 561. I would say I'll see you next week, but I'm supposed to be on. I don't know. I'm supposed to be on vacation, but we'll see what happens. We got some drama going on at the Galvez household right now that may prevent us from going on this trip. But
there's turmoil in the island.
Yeah, your father-in-law's not doing well, so we might have to cut the trip short, and I'm not really sure what we're gonna do, but we're trying to make it happen. It says, are we talking? Oh, wait.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Are we talking about citizens or legal immigrants?
Are we talking about citizens or illegal immigrants, or
just to say or?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, man, we could be here all day. Thank you for joining in, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate your time, man. We'll see you guys here next week. All right. God bless. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this. It's quite nice.